Hi everyone, I'm Costin Benescu. This is my introduction video. You can see here some of the path I had and my going to this angle of like art and design and toy design with my projects. So you can see here back in 2006 I was graduating from fashion design school in Bucharest, and I did this like accessory designs that were more toy-like in nature, and I slowly started to develop also my brand as an artist. My artist name is Alien Ape Star, so you can see a lot of apes and aliens around. And this was actually a sketch I did with marker a while back, between like 2006 2007, where I was like, yeah, this is my image, this is my logo, this is me. And then I did more sketches with this original character, the alien ape. You will see those on a published project a bit later. Then later I started to work in different industries like gaming, toy design and so on. So I was still continuing to do my own toy sketches outside of work, like these ones. But I slowly even started to integrate that into my work. Like you can see here, back when I was working for King, the makers of Candy Crush, maybe you heard of that game, and back in 2012, 2013, we were also doing sketches on maybe proposing new games and so on. Most of them are unused, of course. And then more sketches I did later in 2015. I developed a bit more my brand and my approach to it. This is from a really lovely project I did in Malta that involved more toyetic character design as well. And this is a more recent project I did in 2022 in Spinerihalne, where I invented this like creature creator where you can put together your own toy design in virtual reality, and I did a workshop about it a while back. Yeah, and now I can show you some of my published works if you can follow me. So for example, if you see here, this is one of my original paintings of this alien ape star character that represents my artistic soul, let's say. And it was published in this magazine, Romanian magazine called Omagiu, and this number 9 theme was stars, so it was a really fit with my brand, Alien Ape Star. And these two illustrations were published here, and they're basically a representation of a short poem, like a Japanese haiku. So this one reads, "If I told you how stars are made, would you make one in your dining room?" Or species to it. And this one reads, "I probably shouldn't tell you how to make black holes, you'd make one in the bathroom." Yeah. In this one, in this issue of Omagiu, I showed a little bit of my graduation project, so the plush toys I designed for them, made of recycled textiles and so on. So it had a focus on sustainability too. You can see here, and this was an interview that they had with me in this issue. Yeah, and then here in this bigger book, it's called 100 to Watch. So it's an art book with 100 Romanian artists that the curator thought that we should watch in the future, so maybe they were right. And I'm at page 80 with some of my toy designs, and a very short interview about me. This one as well, it's from a skateboarding magazine from Romania called Blana, which means fur in Romanian, but it's also a slang in the street art and skateboarding culture. It means cool. So it means, maybe in Danish it's called fat. And yeah, it's also an interview about me and my toy designs that I made over the years. And of course, most of these are with recycled textiles. And this one I did specially for the magazine. It's an articulated Yeti snowboarder, of course. Yeah, and this other project that I did for the same really cool magazine Omaggio. This theme of this issue was nano, so I created a project called Nano Green Cube, and I made like a fake instructions manual for it. So imagine we're in the future and you're getting a green cube with smart materials and nano machines in it, and you connect it to your water line and to your computer, and then you can just say to install the program for a washing machine, and then the nano green cube grows into a washing machine, and then you can actually use it. And then when you want to deactivate it, you just verbally command it to deactivate, and it becomes again this green cube that can be also grown into something else like a fridge or whatever you need. So that way we're eliminating planned obsolescence, so the need of throwing away, buying again electronics, throwing them away when they broke down, and then buying again. So that way you're saving the environment by not having so much electronic trash. Yeah, and then I can show you a little bit about the project that I have here in the Vandel Bibliothèque that is related directly to the project that I'm starting with you guys as well for the Vandel climate artwork. So you can see here a temporary poster I made for this one. I'm calling it Climate Dudes. And there's a few books here from Vandel Bibliothèque about climate issues and their relationship to art. And yeah, here I organized a little bit of a reading nook where people can sit down and talk to me about climate issues and their views on the world around that. And this is mostly my books from my personal collection that is changing and updating every day. I'm bringing more books so people can see different views on climate issue discussions. So for example, the whole angle is a more positive take on like how we talk about climate issues. So good news, you know, best things first, and maybe looking at different way at fossil fuels, like this one, moral case for fossil fuels. It talks about the benefits and positive things that we kind of forgot about oil and using oil. Here you can see some books about climate art and more about net zero and management of cities and cultural things, you know, and food like nutrition, how that impacts us and the environment, and then about communication and cultural issues. And then on this side you can see more like the toy part of this exhibition, where this article from this magazine back from 2004 is where I got passionate about toy design. So that's why this permeates everything I do when it comes to art and design. And yeah, a few more books and on toys. And you can see here on the screen I'm already starting to sculpt some maquettes and sketches for you guys that we can look at when we meet up on Sunday. For example, this one was a 3D print that failed, but I managed to sculpt something good from it even though it failed. You can actually see it here on this side. So you can see it's basically a toy that's like a half toy, half tree kind of thing that maybe we can sculpt using recycled wood and real tree branches, and maybe glue them together, mount them together, maybe put some moss on it. And if we drill some holes, this could be like a lovely insect hotel for you guys to put in the new forest you're building. And if you follow me on this side, here you can see two examples of me using recycled materials to do maquettes and sculptures. And this is a sketch for one of the artworks we talked about that we should be doing for Vandel Climate Park. So this could be a bird fountain that's made from recycled wood and maybe with some ecological resin. And of course we can put some moss on it and real stones and so on to make it more inviting for birds to come and drink from this water fountain. And maybe in the back it could be open, so maybe a little kid could go inside and like sit quiet as a mouse and wait for a bird to come, and then have like an interesting experience to see the bird up close coming to drink some water from the fountain. Here on this side, and you can see I started to work with laser cutting and engraving machines in Fab Lab in Spinnerihallen here in Vandel, where I started to look into how to use recycled wood to maybe glue parts together and make sculptures. So testing out the machines and see how long it takes and so on. And here you can see a few more books from the Vandel Bibliothek, and this opens to our work area in this space, where you can see one of the most interesting books I have on toy design. This came out in the post today. I am plastic too. And it's about plastic and vinyl toys, so a lot about the culture, toy culture, but of course they also have textile toys, fur. You know, it's a very good inspiration for me when we're looking at shapes and styles and what can be done. So some of them are made with wood, as you can see. This one imitates wood. But yeah, I really love this kind of books, because like I said, like toy design is my passion, and I'm bringing that kind of style and flavor to the sculptures I'm making for you guys. And sometimes I'm also looking back at like my older sketches and toy designs when I'm working on something new, to, you know, have like an audit of like, hey, how did my style evolve the past few years, and like, is there anything I can reuse from this shape and that thing to make something new. And here you can see some of the design art books I use when I'm creating. I'm comfortable having a small collection of books that I refer to and I reference when I'm creating things, when I'm doing design or art. And here is the more like the digital corner in the workspace, where you can see my website. So if you go to alienapestar.com, you can see some of my other projects. So these ones on toy designs, I already created a project for this, and this is where I'm uploading photos and videos of the process. Then on this project with plushies toy design, you can see some of the works I did previously with this kind of things. Some of them are older, some of them are newer, yeah. And this one is character sculpts unused for game design. So working with colored clay, polymer clay, to find shapes for gaming. And this one is one of the more recent projects from 2020, where I combined like a challenge of 36 days of type, where you would create a letter every day, and I was matching it with a toy sculpt. So A is for Alina, the snow leopard girl, and then B is for banana, C is for chocolate, and so on. And you can see some of the designs I was doing digitally, and some of them are imitating clay, where you can see that it looks a bit softer and has maybe even human fingerprints, but this is all digital. Yeah, so this is me, and this is my work that I started to do for you guys. Feel free to visit me in Vandel Bibliothek. I'm gonna be here until August 8th, I think. No, September 8th. I started on August 8th. I'm gonna end on September 8th being here. And yeah, I can't wait to meet you guys on Sunday and start to work together and bring these ideas to life in a beautiful way, to create some sculptures for your lovely little town called Vandel. So can't wait to see you guys on Sunday. See you.